In Isaiah 29:12, it says, "Then the book is delivered to one who is illiterate, saying, 'Read this, please.' And he says, 'I am not literate.'" Now, a lot of Muslims like to take this as a prophecy of the Prophet Muhammad, who received his revelation and was told to read it, but he said he couldn't read it because he can't read. But what's going on here? Let's actually read in context of what Isaiah is talking about. So you see verses 1 to 4, you see the language of the destruction of Jerusalem, right? You look at verse 3. "I will encamp against you all around. I will lay siege against you with a mound, and I will raise siege works against you." So Israel, or Jerusalem, is going to be destroyed. But notice also the foes will be destroyed. Why? Because their reasons for destroying Jerusalem are not righteous. They're hungry, right? Look at verse 8. Look at the language, right? It shall even be as when a hungry man dreams, and look, he eats, but he wakes and his soul is still empty. This is the hunger and rage and bloodlust of these nations trying to go and conquer and get more and more. But they're not going to be able to because God is going to destroy them for their unrighteous causes. You can also see an example of this in Isaiah chapter 10. So, anyways, down to verse 9. "Pause and wonder, blind yourselves and be blind." Look at this, calling them blind. "They are drunk, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with intoxicating drink." Why are they drunk and staggering? Verse 10. "For the Lord has poured out on you the spirit of deep sleep." What is the spirit of deep sleep? "And has closed your eyes, namely the prophets, and has covered your heads, namely the seers." So they're not going to have that. They're not going to listen to the prophets and the seers. They're going to be closed off to them. They're going to be blind to them. And so that is the context of Isaiah to Jerusalem. So when you get to verse 11, it says, "The whole vision has become to you like the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one who is illiterate, saying, 'Read this, please.' And he says, 'I cannot, for it's sealed.'" So the point is the vision is going to be sealed to the people of Jerusalem. They're not going to be able to read it. So then once you get to verse 12, it's not talking about Muhammad, it's talking about Israel. And they're not going to be any more better off than an illiterate man who can't read it because the vision is sealed to them. They're not going to listen to it. So that's the context. What about another argument? Another argument they make is that the Codex Sinaiticus, which supposedly has the original reading, says Hira. Now, Codex Sinaiticus is a Greek manuscript from the 4th century AD. So this is well after the Hebrew manuscript. So even if it says Hira, the best reading would be delivered to his hand or delivered to him. But Sinaiticus doesn't even say Hira, because if it did, then it would not make any grammatical sense. It would be saying essentially the book is delivered the Hira man who is illiterate. That doesn't make any sense. That's not a proper grammatical sentence. So what actually is Codex Sinaiticus saying? Well, it has the word hand. And so it's just saying that the book is delivered into his hand. It's not saying Hira. So what's going on is the scribe in Isaiah here in Codex Sinaiticus, he was just a bad speller. And so you see this a lot of times in the text where he kind of inserts letters because he doesn't know how to spell very well. So that's what's going on here.